What's up, my friends? I went 9-2 on my Week 15 videos right here on YouTube, and I'm back for NFL Week 16. I've got picks, parlays, underdog, flip, pick'em, and more things on the other fingers. So let's get to it. No time to waste. Let's go. All right, so we're looking at the flip optimizer here. We're going to be looking at the Pick'em optimizer. Got an update. We'll be doing some stuff for Underdog. We're going to use the trends tool today to find the best trending props, the plays that have been cashing the most frequently. Baker Mayfield, longest rush over 8.5, is cashing 11 of 14, so on and so forth. I think you'll like that tool. It'll be a nice overview. We're going to use the player odds page while I'm talking about Matt Stafford here in a hot second and why he's going to be the first official lean. Again, all VIP picks are only ever received down below in the $15 link that I provide you for VIP picks. And if you want access to this website, it's $10 with the code and link down below. So you can do that. We'll be doing some stuff on Underdog here today. And of course, FanDuel Sportsbook will put together a parlay of some sort of an SGP or some touchdown picks at the end of the video when we really start to go in full degen mode. Now, first thing, let's go over to it. I'm looking at the flip optimizer on this page, mysparryedge.com, of course, down below. This is my website. And you see Brock Purdy has the biggest differential. Derrick Henry has a bigger differential, but I'm staring at Matthew Stafford, and there's a few reasons why I like this play. And a lot of that has to do with Puka Nacua being healthy, Cooper Kupp being healthy, and facing the New York Jets. Now, the New York Jets, on paper, have the second best passing yards allowed defense in the NFL, allowing just 197 per game. 197 yards, pretty darn good, keeping opponents under 200. Go look at the last 5 games here, though, and I feel like we actually have a nice edge against this defense, who on paper looks better than they actually are playing, or probably just don't care at this point, as they are 4-10 on the season. Now, there was a nice stretch here where Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp being healthy meant Matt Stafford's going to be cashing with ease. He had hit the over in 11 and 12 games at 243.5 yards. So 240.5 looks delectable, despite the fact that he had been under and under in 2 of the last 3. I think we get a very nice bounce back spot. Listen to the Jets and their last 5 opponents and how many yards they gave up. I'm going to write it down here on my left so you can read while you listen. No matter how you audibly or visually learn, hopefully you can soak this in. Quarterbacks. Kyler Murray threw for 266 yards. Anthony Richardson threw for 272 yards. Geno Smith, the guy I would have thought would have thrown the most yards out of these 5, threw for the least, 206 yards. Tua threw for 331. And then Mac Jones last week for the Jaguars threw for 294.5. 4 of those 5 quarterbacks cashed the over with ease. If you go back a little further, even 6 out of the last 9 have cashed. It was literally just kind of the start of the season. Listen to these quarterbacks. So Brock Purdy in week 1 threw for 231, had a good game. Will Levis threw for $192. Jacoby Brissett for 98. Bo Nix for 60. And Sam Darnold for 179. The first 5 weeks of the NFL season, all 5 quarterbacks hit the under on this market, and 4 out of 5 threw for 192 or fewer. 2 of them didn't even get to the 100-yard, the century mark in passing yards. That inflated how good the Jets defense looks. Go to the last 5 weeks, they're top 5 worst in the NFL for passing yards, my friends. So I like this spot. It's a bounce back spot. Game log watchers might not be as happy looking at the last 5, but I am. So over there on Flip, I think this is a really strong play. Again, all my officials will be down below. I post them to my $15 premium access for that first month. But this one, I'll tell you, is on my short list. This is pick number 1, my first lean of NFL Week 16. Whether it's official or not, again, you'll know down below in the picks link. All right, we're going to slide over to the player trends tool now. Yeah, I like this one a lot. We'll go back to the flip optimizer in a few minutes, but I wanted to bring this one up. So this is the trends tool. It tells you essentially what their player prop is and how frequently they've been cashing the over. Now, there's been a player here that we've been cashing at will. We've cashed like 4 or 5 different weeks this season. I'm going right back to the dang well, my friends. Joe Burrow, and this is the aggregate. So his line is either 36.5 or 37.5, depending on the sports book. The 36.5 for Joe Burrow is cashed in 11 of 14 games. He averages a 45-yard pass per game, 78% hit rate. Last 5 games, he's cashed all 5. Last 10 games, he's cashed in 8 of 10. Last 20, so that takes into account some of last season, been cashing at will. So let's click on Joe Burrow's player card, and here it is, baby, Joe Burrow. He's actually cashed in 7 straight games. When we look at a shorter sample size, He did play Cleveland earlier this year and had a 25-yarder, one of the unders. But look, he only threw the ball 25 times. Joe Burrow is trying to enter that MVP consideration, at least try to win Offensive Player of the Year. He has thrown for 250, 430, 350, 310, 370, 270, and he's had 5, 4, 3, 3, 3, 3 touchdown passes in those games. I expect him to go out there and launch the ball against the Cleveland Browns. Now, let's talk about the Brownies side on defense because I really like this play. I'm going to bring up my notes on the side here, one of my other monitors. The Bengals being at home is a big deal to me as well. They've got nothing to play for but pride, essentially, at this point. I like the over 2.5 passing touchdowns for him at plus odds. I think that's a fine play as well. Here's why. Over the last 9 games of defense, listen to these quarterbacks and their passing touchdown props. They have all hit the over except for Bo Nix. Patrick Mahomes, Russell Wilson again, Derek Carr, Justin Herbert, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, Jalen Hurts. 8 of the last 9 quarterbacks have hit the over on their passing touchdowns prop. But Mitch, we're not talking about that. We're talking about the longest pass. Okay, let's talk about the longest pass. You tell me if you still like it. This season, the Cleveland Browns are allowing 13 yards per completion, worst in the NFL. You heard me correctly. They are allowing the most yards per completion in the NFL. They don't allow the most passing yards per game because teams don't need to throw the ball as much against them because they're often winning in the second half. However, again, the most yards per completion. So Burrow can go out there and complete 20 passes, and out of those 20 passes, he's got a pretty darn good shot of cashing the over on the 36.5 line for the longest pass. Now, I think we should probably look up what his longest pass odds are. So I'm going to type in Joe Burrow's name. This is absolutely going to be lean number 2 for today. I'll go to the long pass market. Just going to look for the letter L for longest pass completion. And there you go. You've got 36.5 across a bunch of different books. Hey, it's even on Fliff. Minus 125 for you Fliffernutters. Not a bad way to start our day as pick number 2. I love targeting them quarterbacks, baby. It's Joe Burrow over 36.5. Longest pass. Best odds, DK, BetMGM, ESPN, Bet, Hard Rock, so on and so forth. Now let's go over to Underdog and let's see what we can find real quick. We're going to type in Joe Burrow. Burrow's going to pop up. And do I have that market? Please give it to me, man. Yes, we do. Matter of fact, you can alt that if you'd like. I'm taking it outright. I like that as a first play there. And let's grab Stafford. We got a nice bounce back spot against the New York Jets. As long as this game is not windy and cold and snowy, I think this is a fine opportunity for him to be the 5th quarterback in 6 games to hit the over against the New York Jets pass defense. Top 5 worst in the NFL over the last 5 games. Moving on, let's keep going. And before I get to the rest of the picks, do me a huge favor. Subscribe to the channel if this stuff is good info. If you're feeling like, man, this is a helpful video, subscribe, like it. And then if you really, truly want to help me grow this platform out and you're like, man, this guy gives out good free info, drop a comment. Honestly, number 1 reason why YouTube says, hey, okay, cool. They liked the video. Nice. All right. Oh, they subscribed. Very cool. Ooh, cool. Oh, they watched 30% of it, 50% of it. Oh, even better. Okay, let's push this in front of some other people. Boom, they dropped a comment. Oh my goodness, they're engaging. Show the rest of YouTube this video, and then YouTube pushes it in front of others. I get seen. My platform grows. I have more reason to give you more information. Stay here longer. Be here 6 out of 7 days per week. The only day you don't find a live show from me or a video is Saturday. So 9:30 a.m. Eastern, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday, I'm here giving away picks and info and research and answering questions in chat. And the other Tuesday, Thursday, I do NFL videos for Thursday Night Football and then the week main slate for Sundays. Subscribe, like, comment, notifications on, and something else. All right, there's 5 fingers. Let's go. So quick little recap. Again, we got the Matt Stafford yardage over 240.5. We've got the Joe Burrow longest pass looking absolutely delectable against the team giving up the longest completion average in the NFL. And for a guy who's just absolutely chucking the dang football right now. Now, with those guys, we already talked about it. I want to talk about Puka Nacua. I want to talk about Jamar Chase, of course. And then I also want to talk about George Kittle, a player who's just been an absolute beast. First, let's go look at George Kittle. I need to look at his receiving yards market this week, and it just ain't high enough. The 59.5 here in Fliff, MGM, Hard Rock, ESPN Bet, just delicious. And let's go look at George Kittle and his game logs. They have been next level. This guy keeps getting down the field, keeps getting yards, keeps cashing out like crazy. Take away this game right here, my friends. Take it away. Buffalo does not count. Snowmageddon was brutal against all player props. There's multiple plays you can go here. I think the long reception is in play for Kittle, and I think the receiving yards is in play for Kittle. 2 straight weeks in a row, my man has had a 33-yarder as his very first catch of the game. How crazy is that? Again, take away Snowmageddon, and my guy here is cashed in 7 straight games for his long reception, and that's at 22.5 yards. His receiving yards at 59.5 has been very close in this game and that game against Seattle and Tampa Bay. Both are very interesting plays. You can choose whichever you prefer. For me, let me talk about which one I like. It's straight up going to be his receiving yards. Now, again, I understand the long reception looks absolutely delicious, but the receiving yards is my play. And here's why. There's been 2 other tight ends that faced the Miami Dolphins earlier this season, one several weeks back, and then the other one back in like October. Trey McBride against the Miami Dolphins ended up with a 37-yard reception, which is very good, easily cashes over. But more importantly for me is the fact that he got peppered in that game, racked up 124 yards receiving. Unbelievable. Later in the season, Brock Bowers, another top 5 tight end, probably the best in the NFL this season, had 126 yards receiving against these Miami Dolphins and had a 23-yard reception in that game. So again, his receiving yards, probably going to be the only angle I bet on for George Kittle, regardless of how nice that long reception market did look this week at 22.5. Play whatever you want, my friends. Honestly, I think they're both really good. I think you could probably be happy with either and not sweat either. So either. You can go with what you want, my friends. Honestly, go with what you want to play. I'm probably just going to play the receiving yards, slide that one over to the end. So we got 3 leans on the board: Matt Stafford, Joe Burrow, and George Kittle. Do what you want with that info. Let's move on. Now, one player I actually want to bring up is the guy I just mentioned. It's Trey McBride, who over the last 5 games is averaging 91 yards receiving per game, 81.6 over the last 10. Let's look at his player card because, oh my goodness, it's ridiculous, my friends. This dude is going absolutely bonkers as of late. And look at the dang targets: 10, 14, 12, 15. He is just being absolutely peppered. Let's get the most recent yardage line odds for Trey McBride and all his different props, because this one can be an interesting play this week. I think they set a pretty good receiving yards line, but I still think we can take advantage of it. Here's why. The only 2 books that have given us a receptions prop this week are ESPN and FanDuel, and not both have juiced, but ESPN juiced -130 to the over. You got a -114, a 54.95% implied probability that Trey McBride ends up with 7+ catches. Now, if my guy here, who averages more than 10 yards per reception, is going to flirt with 6 or 7 receptions, he's going to get 10+ targets, as he continues to do against the Carolina Panthers. They're horrendous on defense. How in the world is he's not going to rack up 70+ receiving yards? And you've got a 69.5, a very nice receiving yards line out there on FanDuel. It's there on Fliff for you Fliffer nutters at -114 on Fliff, -120. And again, let's go look at the Trey McBride player card. And at 69.5, he's cashed with ease. And he's averaging 91 yards receiving, 81 yards receiving last 10. And the targets are just absolutely insane. He's racked up 12 for $133, 12 for 96, 7 for 70, 9 for 87. Now he's facing the Panthers. I mean, the tight ends against the Panthers have been so good this year. They've allowed the 5th most receiving yards per game against tight ends, the most touchdowns in the NFL, top 10 receptions, top 7 receiving yards, longest reception it should be. Oh my gosh. Doesn't matter what stat I'm looking at. The Panthers stink against tight ends, and Trey McBride is on fire. Give me the dang over 69.5. And I'll tell you right now, Out of the list of 4 plays I've talked about today, this one is the number 1 play out of those 4, the closest one to being official. Again, I'll get to my officials for my Discord. You got to be able to sign up. I'm telling you, it's down below. It's $15 if you bet daily, if you bet weekly, if you bet on 10 plus different sports. We got you covered because that's how many sports we bet on inside my Discord. 8 plus cappers down below. They will help you out in there as well. This is my short list. Just quick little recap as we are halfway through this video. Matt Stafford over 240.5 passing yards. Joe Burrow over 36.5 passing yards. George Kittle, you can go over the 22.5 long reception or the over 59.5 receiving yards. And then Trey McBride over 69.5 receiving yards. Lock and load, baby. That's the number 1 play so far. And we ain't done. This video ain't done. Do me a huge favor, though. I've been recording for quite a while. I'm going to edit this video down into about 1/10 of the time that I actually record it. It takes me an insane amount of effort for these, and I know you guys have been liking them. My subscriptions have been going through the roof. My likes, my views, everything is all-time high virtually every video, and I'm also on fire. I mean, I went 9-2 this week. The week prior, I believe, 2 weeks prior to that, I was 19-5 off the top of my head. I mean, we are talking about like outrageous numbers right now. 27-8 or something like that. It's close to that. 27-8 over the last 3 weeks on YouTube. Hopefully, I stay hot for you this week, and hopefully these leans continue to cash out for you. Grab the VIP link down below. Let's keep going. We got more research to do. Really quick, I did mention I was going to look at the Underdog, the Pick'em optimizer here on the website. You can see us there for MLB, NBA, NFL, NHL, NCAA, football, and basketball. All right, so third play on the board here, passing up Isaac Guerrero, Graham Gano is here, so whatever. Listen, Sam Darnold at 1.5 passing touchdowns here. I mean, look at his player card. First off, he's been cashing like crazy, averaging 2 on the season. Over the last 5 games, he's been cashing like, whoa. Only had 1 against Chicago, opened the game with a touchdown pass to Justin Jefferson. They just didn't get on the board again after that. Didn't really need to keep their foot on the gas pedal. Anyway, here we go. Let's look at the rest of this. Sam Darnold, you got an average odds of -132 on the sports books. And if you use them in a flex 5, you get a fixed payout of a -122 over there on Underdog in a flex 5. So I think Sam Darnold, along with maybe some of these plays I've highlighted here, would make a fine 5th option if we were putting together an Underdog slip. And again, all my VIP slips, pick them included, and definitely the Underdog streaks will be given to my members, but I think that needs to be on your short list. And the odds move very quickly on these types of plays. And then what happens is, Underdog in these pick'em apps, they got to bump it or remove it outright. So you get them while you can. These often get replaced pretty quickly. Here's another one, a -130.5 for Tony Pollard, -130.5 average odds across all the different sports books. And then over here on Underdog, you get a nice little discount. He's facing the Colts today, or I guess should say in week 16. Player card's been a little touch and go, but he did play Indy earlier this season, back in week 5 against the Colts, and he had 17 carries and 93 yards. Colts defense is suspect at best. That could be an interesting play backed up by both data and the odds themselves. So there you go. There's a nice little Underdog pick. Speaking of, let's go over there and see what we've got based on all the plays I've already talked about and see if we can put something together. Long reception, long pass completion for Burrow. Why am I looking that up? We already did that one. All right, let's look up Kittle. And we have to look up Trey McBride. There's Kittle at 59.5. Matter of fact, this might be the one you just alt it to 49.5. If you really want to lock in a super high hit rate, you can do that and go from there. Trey McBride, MCB. There we go. I've got him, and there's the 69.5 receiving yards. And then we just talked about it. Let's look at Sam Darnold. So many Darnolds. There we go. And I'm going to grab his passing touchdowns. And there you go. You got a quick flex 5, 8.5 return. Not bad. You might have a promo you can run out if you'd like. But I'm telling you right now, I like this enough to throw 0.2 units on it, have some fun, just something to scratch the itch with. And I'm really, really liking where this is all going. We still haven't even gone to FanDuel Sportsbook to lock in some type of parlay. I'm telling you right now, there's enough tools on this website You can do a heck of a lot of research on your own without me for all of these sites. I mean, heck, look, let me show you everything here, and then we'll get to our picks and parlays and SGPs and stuff on FanDuel really quick. You can look up all the player odds, all the different markets, which I've been showing you today for across these different sports. You can use the Pick'em Optimizer, which I was just showing you for Underdog. I think that's probably the best one to use it for right now. And you can do all these different sports, NCAA, blah, blah, blah. You've got the player trends tool for NBA and NFL. We will be adding the player trends as we go for college sports, NHL, baseball, but we got up NBA and NFL first. And then the game odds, which I never even show because I just don't use it that often because it's mostly irrelevant. I think a lot of that's baked into the player odds and lines themselves of what the sides and totals are and if they're favored and blah, 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 blah. Anyways, that's there if you want to ever look that up as well. I'll quickly just refresh the trends page. I know you all love this one. I want you to use it on your own, in your own time, but let's go ahead and look at like some of these players who are absolutely obliterating their prop line over the last 5 games. And here we go. I'll give off the 100%ers. Here we go. Austin Hooper, receiving yards at 22.5. Again, these bump lines are going to end up being around a 23. That means some books are 23.5, some are 22.5. So we average it out, 23. Around here, he's hit the over in 5 straight games. Austin Hooper has cashed, plays the Buffalo Bills. He's averaged 47 yards per game over the last 5. DJ Moore, a player we did just bet on this past week. There you go. 5.5 receptions has been a lock and load, plus 116. I just targeted this in my last week's video, and I said, play him. He's been a stud, and we got plus odds, and he did it again. And what I love about it, 7 for 7, 7 for 7, 8 for 16, 6 for 8, 8 for 8. Very, very efficient. Over 5.5 receptions, plus odds, once again, facing the Lions, who do give up a lot of passing yards. He just played the Lions 3 games ago at 16 targets, 8 catches, 97 yards, and a touchdown. So DJ Moore needs to be looked at plus odds this week. My gosh, I think that's a fantastic play. Matter of fact, Jamar Chase, longest reception, 25.5. Again, we targeted Burrow, so I mean, it makes sense that Jamar Chase is going to be a guy that's got him there. He's cashed in 5 straight games. Jerry Jeudy on the flip side, cashed in 5 straight games, averaging 126 yards per game, facing off against the Bengals. And there it is. Most of these games are with Jameis Winston under center. The Bengals are giving up 1 billion yards per game. And here you go. You've got Winston giving him 11 targets, 6, 13, 6, 14. And he's hit the over, and he's at 100-plus yards in 3 of those games, facing the Cincinnati Bengals and their anemic defense. Yeah, this needs to be on your short list. I'm telling you, my friends, this tool will give you so many plays to put on your short list over the course of the week. And here's another one. Jerry Jeudy, 4.5 receptions. There's the Judy's yardage props. And then here's his reception. He's had 5+ in every single game with Winston under center, 6 for 6. And matter of fact, in those games, last 5 games, he's averaged 7.5 receptions per game. There's a lot to like here. These plays need to be on your short list. Hopefully, this video is giving you all sorts of gems. Literally, you could do this all day. Jordan Addison was another play. I saw PrizePicks Sniper post in his Fliff channel who for over 50.5 yards receiving, facing Seattle Seahawks on the road. Yes, continues to cash the over here. His long reception has been a good market to target as well. Well, for whatever reason, doesn't have one a prop out for yet, but his receiving yards is there. So, heck, I mean, do what you want with this info. Hopefully this video has been helpful. I'm actually going to cut it short. I've been recording for hours. I need to edit. And I hope this is a helpful video no matter what I've done. There's a lot of plays on the board. I just want you to go research these yourselves at this point. There's so much information here for $10 down below. Literally $10 down below. Use all these tools for $10 for 30 days. And you can always get support from me and my staff inside Discord. And again, you want my VIP picks and whatever those will be, the link is down below. Grab that link, grab the code, apply that stuff. You can get access to my website and my VIP pick service and Discord for $25 total for 30 days. Find me a better deal out there to have both the tools-based arsenal and the pick support. That's incredible, my friends. I love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Thank you for watching. Thank you for liking today's video, subscribing, noties on, all that good stuff. I will be back live shows Friday and Sunday morning to hook you up for NFL. And hopefully this video serves you well and we can cash out and go crazy again, once again, this holiday season. And I will be back next week. You know I will. Again, Friday and Sunday I'm here, but I'm going to be doing shows during the holiday week, Christmas week, even Christmas morning, I believe. So I love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Have a wonderful week and stay healthy, and let's get paid.